Hello. There's nothing like breaking pattern and having a cup of tea. It was only on Friday, after coming back to Monchique, I thought, why didn't I think of getting some tea bags? And it's about pattern recognition. Because yesterday, a gentleman who subscribes to this channel came and visited. Turns out he's only a 38-minute drive away. And there's a pattern to this as well, because I had this thought not just about tea, because he's gifted me a load of things, all things I've been thinking of, like coconut oil, chisels for woodwork. And it builds on what I observed in Monchique on Friday, where I was seeing car registration numbers, everything from 00 to 99 multiple times, to the point where it's like, don't show me anymore. And what I'm finding, it's speak as you find, and this find is not like when you are fined by the system. This is just witnessing supply that is coming. I'm just having passing thoughts, and within 24 hours, things are just coming. It's building on a pattern of where I look back at the end of each day. I have a review of the day and say to myself, well, if this is my last day in this physical experience, that is a good one to go out on. And tomorrow, I feel, will be potentially exciting. And it is. Each day is just becoming more and more awesome. So I invite you, if you're struggling in any way, come and talk to me. Because it's like, this is all very well that I'm finding this is happening for me. But I want to expand that out and share it with you. What I'm also witnessing is growing at an alarming, I suppose, is that the right word? Or all-arming, exponentially, is this growth of what is our frequency family. I buck the trends to many people in that 99 to 100% of all those that come into my world that I have conversations with, and I'm not talking about the mundane conversations, I'm talking about the deep and meaningful conversations, that all those that I'm coming into contact with are on a similar wavelength. And there's a consistent pattern that all of you have gone through some shocking experiences. I can't say any individual experiences any worse than anybody else's, because we're given as much as we can handle and whether we can overcome it. And that, of course, depends on whether we react or respond. I have this beautiful relationship with death. And for the last week as well, I've had this insatiable desire for lamb. Well, even that came yesterday as well, and it was melt in your mouth. It ticked all the boxes. So the relationship I have with death is a creative one. And what I'm talking about here is this land. This is the perfect time of year for just going round and raking up leaves and piling them up and letting the things naturally combust. And I've got some beautiful, very black topsoil that's been developed out of this. So it's like that Cambridgeshire soil in the Fens area of England. So I'm gearing myself up for a much bigger growing production by the time we get to March. So it's taking active steps in that direction. Now, something else I would like to share with you here, and this would drive me insane. I would definitely lose my mind if I tried to decode this. But what I have been shown is basically what is shown in the Matrix film. You have a black background and you have sort of green, like vertical falling rain. Well, if you consider what all of the plant kingdom grows in, it is, they're rooted in what is a black screen, because it's decayed organic matter that has gone through the process of death that has created new life. It's the only way in this material reality that it can bring about a form of infinity that has to involve death. But there's something in that, because there are things that have died. For myself, it is losing fear, it is losing doubt and worry about where is this coming from and such like. Things have never been better, and this is just growing and growing. But there's a dark side to embrace inside each and every one of us as well. There is an internal Yahweh inside us. And that can become a force of good. So when you go up to the mountain, to Pineal, as it were, you can encounter the Yahweh internally. The material world certainly reflects it's all an inside job after all. But when we internalize things in our personal worlds, the Yahweh actually becomes something very good. When it's in that story about go out and kill them all in my name, consider all those cells in your body, in your vehicle, in this material reality. If you've had negative thoughts, if you've had doubts and worry, and you're coming from that position of I haven't got, well, those are the cells that need to be shed and replaced with positive ones. So the Yahweh in that sense is something very good. And I find that working. I still have this insatiable appetite for lamb, and I'm not talking about the physical food. I'm talking about the sacrificial lamb. This is a metaphor. I am just waiting for that opportunity where I get somebody come up to say to me, Jesus loves you, to which I'm very tempted to say, pleased to meet you, don't you know my name? Because one of two things will happen with that. I will let them say what they wish to say, and then I will ask a series of questions that they might find a little bit uncomfortable. And in so doing, I become death, the destroyer of worlds. That belief system they have. See, there's a pattern with this reality, and most don't seem to grasp the enormity of it. Every infrastructure, every organization, every overlay onto this nature is corrupted. It's a captured operation. Whatever you look at, science, religion, history, it's all been altered. But there's a beautiful pattern in that, because with this rising Christian Reich, if you can burst a few belief system bubbles, that is going to go a long way. effectively become like the cancer to that, because if we see this world as like a body, it's riddled with like stage 4 cancer. But we can be the cure, we can be the oxygen, the organic XY generation that can make a huge difference, and maybe even help save a few, help change a few worlds. I'll put in a link in the description to my previous channel, the playlist called Jesus Christ. You've got many different YouTube channels there giving perspectives on this historical Jesus, and that will give you all the ammunition that you're going to need. I would go into the approach of this of just asking them to explain things. I'd also like to give you something here. Let's hypothetically rewrite Genesis. So we'll follow the story as it is until we get to Adam and Eve taking fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. But now with this rewrite, Adam and Eve, after eating the fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, immediately go and eat from the tree of fruit from the tree of life, and they all live happily ever after. The end. Sounds a bit anticlimactic, and it's like, well, what now? So I don't know, can you see the sense that what follows in the way that story is given? Doesn't matter whether it's corrupted or not, but there's a play out. Because otherwise we stagnate. We're here to learn from mistakes. There's a pattern right from learning to walk, even before that. But you take one step, you may stumble, you may fall over. Do you give up? Or do you keep going until it becomes second nature? So behind in the background, we have the green screen, or the green on the black screen is probably more correct. And as Rudolf Steiner says, green is the lifeless image of the living. It's seeing beyond the colour. And actually that would be a question I would definitely ask one of these ones who are trying to recruit you into this or that religious cults. And I would say to them, if you could see me as a colour, what colour would you say I am? And then I may even follow that up with, if you were to describe yourself as food, how would you describe yourself? Because what I see in front of me is a sacrificial lamb, an appetizer. Can have fun with this, because there's no evil intention behind it, but it is about transformation and changing things. It is about destroying, which then leads to a recreation. So you can burst somebody's belief system bubble and basically destroy their world, but you don't have to leave them in that abyss of the deep, dark, cold Atlantic. You've rescued them from the sinking ship, but are you going to leave them stranded in a very cold ocean, not knowing which direction to go, when you can actually help them show that there is a way, there is the way, you could say. And that realization, this is the key part to everything, that realization, that recognition that you are an immortal within, the Christ consciousness, the sun of your internal world is in your gut. So for any situation that you face, ask your own Trinity. You have actually three brains, as it were, inside you. You have the one in the head, you have the one in the heart, and there's also the one in the gut. It is the one in the gut is probably the most important one to learn that communication with, because that will guide you. Whatever the external world is saying to you, if the gut is saying different, always listen to the gut. That won't let you down. It's not coming from anything external. It is all coming from within you. But we're also like radios in which we receive and we transmit. So we can broadcast out as well, and using the resources we have. In this particular case, it's a YouTube channel. But yeah, life is fantastic. This is just another step in the right direction, which is going to lead to this exit out of this reality. What do you need to do ultimately for this exit? The answer is probably going to surprise you, because you do nothing. There's nothing you need to do. You just observe it, secure in that knowledge that you are an immortal within. If you're struggling to find that, I invite you to get in contact direct. The link will be in the description. There's an email address there. Let's unlock it for you. Let's roll away that stone. Let's shatter a few calcified pineal glands and play our parts in increasing this frequency family that is growing and growing at such a phenomenal rate, but it doesn't help to strengthen up even further. Safety in numbers and everything, after all. So every day is becoming one of gratitude and one of wonder and amazement. And it's like learning to walk. It's like things are flowing nicely for me. But I don't want it to stop there. I want to share it. I want to, want is not the right word. Let's take that back. I wish to share it. I wish for you to find it inside yourselves. And if there's anything I can do to help you find that for yourselves, that recognition that you are an immortal soul, what people would call God, an all-seeing and all-knowing. How does that operate? Well, we can look at its sort of opposite, as it were, which is working through technology, hence all the multiple cameras on cell phones and things. And it's said that they're listening continuously to us, predicting our every move, which is another reason to break pattern, because like everything else in this reality, it is finite. It's going to consume an awful lot of energy to try and pull you back down into that low vibration. So armed with that, you've got what you need to change things. We're not here to change the world, but we can change our personal worlds. We can help change the individual worlds of others as well. Etymology is a wonderful thing. Take the word patent and patience. Well, I'm a doctor and I have plenty of patience. You'll notice the difference between patent and patience is the patience has an I in it. There are always clues wherever you look. It's whether we have the eye to actually see these things, because they do come in the mind's eye. It's sort of a paradox in a way, that with an expanding consciousness, there's still no room for doubt, fear, or worry about things. And if you can master those, it does become a game changer. I came into this reality with a parallel to the sort of Moses story. So I don't see any problem with stepping into that role. and helping you find that promised land. Now you can interpret that as the promised land being, as Neville Goddard says, the law and the promise, and the land being within inside you in this reality, but equally it can be the exit out of this reality. But it is a very consistent theme of be patient a while longer, which is beautiful, because seeing this all unfold, finding out more and more every day that we do have this co-creator power inside us, there's no need to rush, because it's like learning to walk. You'll master it until it becomes second nature, so everything just becomes a passing thought. We're only passing through this reality after all. So to me, it makes sense that we just have passing thoughts. And in that, there is a pass with those passing thoughts, because there's no room for that doubt, worry, or fear. It sounds very simple, but, and I'm sure you all know this from your own experiences, that the path is not made easy. It's not meant to be easy, because we wouldn't grow. We, in the same way, these are all valuable lessons. All the things that seem to be negative are not actually negative. They are the greatest teachers for us. So I just wanted to share that, and without sort of being sort of emotionally sort of yay, but inside the sun is definitely shining and I am smiling. And yeah, that theme is definitely be patient a while longer, and why not? Enjoy the moment. Have no expectations, and just observe and recognize the wonderful things that can come, which I am as I'm experiencing. I really don't know how else to put this into words. This is where words fail. But words are also beautiful in the etymology and what they reveal as well. Yeah, so going back just to finish off, what was shown to me, these raindrops. Every now and again there'll be a coloured one. It seems to indicate a break in, I suppose it's like a vertical Morse code. So imagine everything you witness with raindrops, how enormous that would be. So I'm not even going to try and decode it. I just observe it and appreciate what it is showing. And it makes sense. It's water, it's flow. Water is said to contain memory, so it is revealing things. But I'm not going to go down the line of trying to, it would become basically another rabbit hole to go down, when I can just observe it, and what is meant to be revealed will be revealed further in all of it as well. It requires very little effort, to be honest. And just, to me, it's further proof that we are magnetic. What we emit is a type of magnetism that will then get a frequency match from the external, and then just watch the real magic just unfold. What exciting times these are. So I hope I've conveyed that sufficiently in this video, and if nothing else, I've helped to raise your spirits, to help lift you up, to sort of enable in you a kind of resurrection, you could say. So until the next video, I'm going to say unconditional love to you all. As always, do check out the link in the description, and I invite you to get in contact with me. And let's see if we can change your world. Let's see if we can give you a much more pleasant experience. It may initially come with things that may seem not to be, that I will say as well, but sit with the discomfort, secure in the knowledge that we're in a realm of duality. So if you're getting the negative thing first, the negative presentation, don't react to it. Just see what comes next. And I'm going to play the part of the fool and take the fool's journey here, because all I've got to back this up is my own testimony from my own experience. But I am going to put my neck on the line, as it were, and say, I guarantee that if you take these steps, these active steps internally, that your world will change, your individual worlds will change. So it begs the question, can we really change this world? If sufficient numbers here can have their worlds changed, that may well have a impact on the greater collective world. I feel it is something worth at least seeing what can be done, because it's all potential. Well, are we going to just leave it as potential, or are we going to explore it and let's try and unlock more of that potential magic and create the world and the experiences that we wish, and then share it and radiate it out as well. I don't see that there's anything at all wrong with that. And it's certainly a very wonderful feeling to get feedback of the sort of thank yous, but there's no need for the thank yous. It's enough to just hear your stories of how things have changed. That's really beautiful, because that all builds and builds and builds and exponentially grows as well. This is a wonderful time to be here. The external world will give you the opposite presentation, but from my experience and my perception, we're here for a very good re-sun indeed. So with that, I'm going to say unconditional love to you all.